Hello, 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 everyone. Oh my gosh, JoJo did not decide to wake up until she heard me talking. Oh no. But I'm finally starting this live on time. This is okay, kids. Good night. Good night. Good night. Mm. Okay. All right. Sorry about that, y'all. So I'm gonna be doing the live tonight. And I'm going to be starting a new raffle again, probably sometime this week. So I've had a wonderful weekend. I hope everyone else did as well. I had the meeting at the Exodus house to discuss our strategies going forward with repatriation. And then I had another Zoom meeting last night. Um, and then I had other events on Saturday evening. And it's just been back to back to back to back to back. But I'm glad I got a lot of the things out of the way. For those of you who missed the Zoom meeting, I will be conducting another meeting soon. Probably about Wednesday. I am not sure if you missed last night's meeting. Please email me exodusafrica1@gmail.com so that I can email you again. So we can go through the proposal and everything that I put out last night. So yeah, so that's pretty much what's happening. We're having the wheels turning and things moving forward at the Exodus house. And people who are here, who are in Tanzania, now is a good time to reach out. Earlier on when I was building the house, it was very, very difficult to get a hold of me, to communicate with me. And I know a lot of people wanted to interview me, and I did not um, let myself be interviewed during the building process because there were just too many questions that I even didn't have the answers to. And I didn't want to anyone to put me in a position to say, well, you said it would be finished by then and now it's not finished, So now is a good time for people to reach out to me, connect with me about what we're doing. So I hope you're all doing well there, Jojo. I cannot concentrate if you're going to do this. I've been sitting here for 2 hours preparing, and you lay in your bed for 2 whole hours to attack me when I'm doing it. Okie dokie, smoking. All right. So this is not going to be like a super long live unless y'all have some questions. I know a lot of people are going through a lot right now with what the government is doing and all of this COVID stuff and this vaccine stuff. And a lot of people have lost a lot of family members, and a lot of people are suspended. They don't know where they're going to go, what they're going to do next. But don't forget to breathe. Don't forget to take some time for yourself and center yourself so that, and kind of shield yourself from some of that stuff so that you can have the space in your brain to think about what to do next, right? So I am going to start with, I used a clear bag. I'm going to start the raffle. I see a couple of people here, those who did not make it. Y'all can always watch, right? So, hey, thank you, PT. I appreciate that. So, these are the names for the 7. No. Oh, Lord, I'm doing it backwards. Lord, help me. Okay, so I have a pile of names over here. All right, so these. Why does JoJo do this? She thinks that I'm afraid to look her on camera. JoJo, stop. Get in your bed. So these are the names for the 7-day stay, okay? And I'm gonna go ahead and shake, 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 shake. So let's see. I'm gonna pick a name out of the bag, and I'm picking it here. And Herb McGregor. Herb McGregor, this is you. If you're here, Herb McGregor, there you go. Okay, so congratulations, you have won the 7-day stay in the double room, okay? And that room has a shared bathroom, and you can bring another guest. So let me just get rid of this pile here. So Herb McGregor, email me exodusafrica1@gmail.com, xodusafrica1@gmail.com. And now we're moving on to, wait, okay, that was that pile. It goes over there. So now we're moving on to the master suite. So the master suite is up for 14-day stay. And the last time we had this lovely lady who won, she came, she had such a good time. She brought her family. So this is for the 14-day stay in the suite. And the suite is amazing, has its own bathroom, views for days, wraparound balcony. It is just everything, okay? So let's see. They got some names here. All right, we got a name, Who is that? Mary Smith. Okay, so I actually know who this is, so I'm going to email her. Are you here? Say hi, drop a message. When you do see this, Mary Smith, congratulations. You are coming to the Exodus house for 14 days. You and your family, we cannot wait to host you. You're going to have a blast. Okay, so now we're moving on to the 2-bedroom family suite, okay? And I know some people message me, oh, that ticket price is expensive for a raffle, but that room you can bring up for what you pay for the raffle ticket does not even dent the cost of the room itself to bring 5 people. So we're talking about water, we're talking about One Love, One Love Global Green Book. Yeah, water, electricity, blah, 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 for 5 people. And then I have the staff and all of that stuff. So go back to the website, starlinesale.com. That is what the price of the expense of that particular room, okay? And some people took a gamble. I'm so proud of you for taking such a raffle ticket after, because I've had the instance where I buy the raffle, people buy the raffle ticket on the same night that I'm running the raffle, and I go to my PayPal and I'm like, oh my God, this raffle has already passed. So I just put them into the next raffle, okay? And so this is for the 2-bedroom family suite that you're able to bring up to 5 guests. That room has its own bathroom. It has 2 king beds and 2 double beds. Right. So let's see what we got. Pick a name. And Vanessa Gregory. Okay, Miss Vanessa, congratulations. You have won stay the Exodus house 2-bedroom family suite. You can bring up to 5 guests. And that's for a 21-day stay in a room with its own bathroom. It's a secluded suite. So you are going to have a fantastic time. Okay. So y'all, congratulations on your raffle win. Congratulations on your stay. I'm excited to see those of you who are going to come, those of you who are going to come to Africa for the first time and come to the Exodus house. I'm so excited to and receive you. So yeah, so that's the raffle. So I'm going to ask you if any of you all have any questions, because JoJo is trying not to sleep. Right? She's trying not to sleep. So this is where, yeah, seeded fruits. Congratulations. This is where the ticket sales are, and I will begin the winter drawing. I'll begin the winter drawing. I'll believe sometime this week. I'll start for December. And then I will do that drawing on, I think, the 31st of November. No, does that give me enough time? Let me try to think. I try to give it at least 6 weeks. But it will make someone's Christmas really nice. So I'll do the drawing for the winter raffle on the 10th. No, yeah, on the 10th of December. Okay. And so you can still get your tickets for the winter drawing. Should I do it for January? Let me see. That would give me 6 weeks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yes. So beginning this week up until the 10th of December is going to be our next drawing for the winter raffle. So, I mean, listen, it's an oceanfront property on the Indian Ocean, views and views and views for days, peaceful, quiet, tranquil. It's a fantastic way to bring yourself into Africa for the first time, to make your landing soft, to just really gather your thoughts. And for what the cost of the ticket sales are versus what the spending would be, it doesn't really compare. And we've had people who won that we've interviewed. If you go to the YouTube page, you're going to see some of the raffle winners from the past that we've interviewed and talked to about their experience when they get here, and the kind of value that they get out of the experience of coming to the Exodus house. So I know I look tired. It was a very serious weekend. We got through a lot of information. There was a lot that was provided. People who are looking to get to the next meeting, please email me. I'm going to put it here in the chat, Exodus Africa 1 at gmail.com. Okay. And it's imperative. The information that I'm sharing is not information that I want to put in the public medium, and the people who I'm inviting to these meetings are people who I believe are making a spiritual journey and can see the work that needs to be done. So I'm not necessarily just, inviting anyone and everyone. And then, those who do attend the meeting, after the attendance, then they can decide what they want to do, if they want to continue with what we're working on, or if they, if it's not for them, right? So it's a very important meeting. There's a lot of information that is shared. There's a lot of research that is shared relevant to repatriation, and also in regards to this COVID vaccine. It's not one of those scare tactic meetings telling you what to do, what you shouldn't do, don't get this or don't get that. It's not really about any of that kind of stuff. It is just next steps of what you need to be doing for your own welfare and for that of your family, with well-researched factual information. So with that being said, I'm going to ask if you all have any questions. I don't have a lot of people on the chat, but I appreciate those who came through. Yes, One Love Global Green Book. Yeah, man. A lot of the people who came through to these meetings were people that have been around or have been with me from the very, very beginning. And I can't even tell you how much I appreciate those people who have followed the journey from the time I landed in Qatar to the time we're looking at houses and trying to help other people to find a place to live. And then we found the Exodus house, and then we started working on the Exodus house. It is a very it's a humbling experience because it's all there. And so there are so many people who have followed the journey from the beginning until now. And it hits different when they have seen the journey rather than someone who just saw you. Oh, I saw you and this house is great and I'd like to come to the house, and so forth and so forth. The people who've been with me lockstep consistently for this time, just their presence, their letters, their donations have been very instrumental in my mental support, because it's very difficult to do the work that we're doing here with you don't know where it's going to go. You don't have any end in sight. You have no idea of what happens next. And so when so many people say, we believe in you, we value what you're doing, we appreciate you, continue to do good work, it helps to build morale to continue to do this and do the other things and bring us to the next level. So now we are past the heavy construction phase of the Exodus house. And so now we're going on to the next phase, which is the inclusion and the gathering of the community to organize and centralize our power to work together, right? So this is the next phase. People only see the house and they think that was my end goal when it isn't. How many people living? Gail, it's not, it's a transitional housing. So people come to the Exodus house to transition into more permanent housing. So we don't really have anyone living in the house. We have guests that come and travel and go in and out. As of today, we have one guest in the house. And then further down in the week, then more people are going to be coming on. So we don't really have people living in the house. And for what the property is, we do have very fair rates for exactly what the property is and what you get for your money. It's an oceanfront property. It's right on the beach. You have access to the beach. We have something that's like a small park in the front. It's just a really great experience to also connect with other people from the diaspora. And so that's the difference between going to a hotel where you're isolated. You don't see anyone else. You don't know anyone else. You're alone in the journey of repatriating yourself and all the anxiety that comes along with it, being in a strange place, not knowing the language, not knowing what happens next or where to go. All of that is released when you come to that space, because we have other people that you can connect to. We have people who can help you to find a home. We have people to help you with your transportation. We have people to even take you to the market. We have people who, on our staff that will help you to get all the things that you need to go to do to settle in properly, right? My global, yes, when I was on Sanal's channel, right? Yes, that is a very long time before we started the journey. Can you imagine, Gail? Yeah, Global Green Book. Can you imagine? That is a very, very long time. So what she's talking about was before I repatriated, I was actually in the States and I was being interviewed by other people. And I even long before that, I had started an app for trading with Africa, and it was kind of early and before its time. And I had done a lot of interviews in Jamaica. I had done a lot of interviews all over about this particular app. So I had already had this pro Africa background. And so, when I started the Facebook group, it's called African Exodus After Rona. That helped, putting all the people together who are looking towards going to Africa. What I thought was, Erica, we had the drawing. We had the drawing and we did the names and you were one of them. But I'm going to email you, Erica. I'm going to email you. Okay. So, yeah, so that's a long time, Global Green Book. That is a very long time. And there are people who hear from my Facebook family who I've been pro Africa for a very, very long time. So this wasn't just like an overnight thing. But when COVID hit, believe me, there had to be an acceleration of plans. There had to be like, we got to go now, and I know where to go. So I appreciate all those people who have seen that journey, that transition, that entire experience. And now we're going to the next phase of where we need to go, because it's not enough to say, oh, I'm okay. I've moved to Africa. I'm fine. Well, what about the people who can't move to Africa? And what about the people who move to Africa and they're not in the same financial position as you are? What about the people who, they've moved to Africa and, they don't know what to do next, right? Yeah. Yeah, it's about what to do next. It's time to go. It is definitely, it's time to go. I mean, when you talk about a country with, so many different kinds of obstacles and hurdles to Black success, and then on top of that, you add a pandemic, and then on top of that, you add, oh, you have to get this mandatory vaccine. And then on top, and it's just too much. It's not good mentally, it's not good spiritually, it's not good in so many ways. But Africa is here. Make your plans, make solid plans for your, how you're going to live when you get here. Come with some resources. If you're not going to sell your house, rent out your house. If you're not going, sell your car, do what you need to do to at least have something to help you to move to the next level, and also learn some skills that you can use or transfer when you get to the continent, right? Yes. Yes, I heard that too, that they're monitoring taking money from the bank. I'm not understanding that. How, if somebody can explain it to me, that the government is saying that they're monitoring how much money people are taking out of the bank. What if you have to buy a car and you have to buy it cash? What if you so you're saying that there's no need for anyone to take out any money at all, that all the money should remain in their system? No, people are taking out their money because they can see it coming. White people are taking out their money, Black people are taking out their money because they can see it, they can see a mile away what is coming next. What people don't realize is that we're approaching, or we're in the United States, that they're approaching hyperinflation. Okay. So they're going to see the higher cost of basic living things. All of that spending for these stimuluses and all of these, the money that the government put out to to shore up their economy, you pay for that in inflation, and inflation is the increase of common goods. So it's like, okay, we have $1 trillion here, how are we going to get that $1 trillion back? So it is built into the cost of goods and services. You're going to see gas go up, and because gas is going to go up, the cost of eggs, milk, bread, everything else is going to go up along with that. So the value of the dollar is not going to be as strong as before. And you do not have the same kind of jobs or people being able to return to the workplace as they did before. There is never going to be normal. First of all, it was never normal. There was never any kind of normal to begin with. If you call working somewhere for 10 hours a day with no sunlight and just, these oppressive and stressful environment with sleep deprivation, if you call that normal, something is wrong. There was never any normal, but it was very abnormal, the kind of lifestyles that we were living in America. We had no time for our children. We had no time for our spouses. We had no time for anything outside of just working and paying bills. And that was severely abnormal. Hold on a second. Johanna! Let me talk to you again. Polisana. Yeah, shelves are getting empty and emptier. Businesses are fighting the jab until after the holiday. Gas, what? Gas, gas is almost $4 a gallon. What? Gas is almost $4 a gallon, right? So you're going to start wondering, where is the money going and why you don't have any. You're going to start wondering that. And it has nothing to do with getting the vaccine or not getting the vaccine, but the economy is pretty much crumbling. Okay. So we have to find ways that we can work amongst ourselves, pool our resources, and set up systems where we can float, whatever comes next, right? Excuse me. We have to come up with different types of systems in order to do that and work together. It's no longer individual time. Okay. It's group time. It's collective time. It's cohesive time. It's building time. It's group economics time. The time of the individual that I work and I can take care of me and mine and my family and we're good, that time has passed. Okay, because there is not going to be enough for each individual family to meet certain needs. The time for selfishness is over. The time for I have and you don't, that's over. The time for flossing and flaging and the expensive footwear and the expensive handbags and the expensive name brand clothes, that time is over. We have to move into a different way of thinking, a different attitude towards money, towards life. We have to release ourselves of the single selfish capitalistic ideas of me and move towards we. Okay, there can only be us. And that is what I'm looking to do here on the continent. is what I've always been looking to do. I did not build that house for me. I built it for us. So we have to have that community group mentality. If we do not, we're not going to be able to survive this or whatever it is that's coming next, because this is just the appetizers. This is just the appetizers, honey. This whole 1 year and some many months of COVID. Let me see: March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October. 1 year and 8 months. That is just the appetizer. You went through lockdown. You went through people dying. You went through no jobs. You went through not having anything and couldn't do this. You didn't know. Oh, you went through no toilet paper. You went through no food. You went through a lot of that. Shocking stuff was happening in America. Okay? And if you think that normal is going to come back or the vaccine is going to fix everything, you're mistaken. Because even though the vaccine is now basically mandatory, there still aren't enough jobs. The unemployment is still at 4.6%. Okay, so unemployment is still in the same place. And many people are looking at it that I do not want to go back into the working world. Many people had the opportunity to stay home for over a year and think about their lives and choose to do things differently. Okay, they either learned a skill while they're on lockdown. They found new tools while they were on lockdown. They figured out how to do some hair while they were on lockdown. And they don't want to go back into that kind of slavery environment. And because they don't go back and they won't go back, and many can't go back, and many never will go back, like us who we left, those people who have left, they leave a gap in the economy. They leave a gap in the workforce, in the employment pool. So if you are just below the poverty line and you make your money by mopping floors or whatever, and it's a crap job, but somebody's got to do it, and you decide that you are not going to do that anymore, where are they going to get the workers from to do it? And this is one of the reasons why they're trying so hard to keep you there, as you said, Global Green Book, right? This is why they're trying so hard for you to stay there. They want to scare you, because that is what they're depending on. It's a pyramid. So the majority of low paying, or they would say low class, underclass people who they're just the basic workers, work at McDonald's and food service or whatever in their class system. Those people are the base. Okay, and then above them you have the skilled laborers, who are the people in construction. Maybe they're they're the receptionists. And then above them you have the civil workers, right, which are the teachers, the doctors, the border patrol, all of those, and above them you have the army, and above them you have the executives, right? White label employment, and then executives. But if those first three layers of labor starts to disappear, you're going to find an economy that cannot take care of itself, that cannot exist without that broad base in the pyramid. So what do you think they're going to do next? How do you think that they're going to be able to meet their needs? They can't. They can't, because their system is designed specifically to keep you there, disenfranchise you, undermine you, and keep you in your position that you are afraid or you can't go up and down. And so this COVID-19 is the biggest disruptor. It is a huge, huge, huge disruptor. And because it's such a great disruptor, there is an opportunity to rebuild a new, more equitable world, a new, more fair world. But that's not what they want. They want the old system back, where they had folk that they could always take advantage of, and they can always push around, and they can always tell you what you can do and what you can't do, and how much you can have and how much you can't have, and keep you in your place so that you're too busy, stressed out, working for this one, that one, and the third to even recognize or identify yourself and your life purpose. That's what they want. They want you back. They need to keep you in your place, and they will do everything in their power and control to ensure that you continue to remain in that place. Okay? That's what they want. So let me see. Right? So Erica says, on transactions of $600 or more, as of January 2022, you'll have to pay taxes on all unrealized gains, as well as money going through Cashapp, Zelle, Venom, PayPal, etc. Okay. Shelves are getting emptier and emptier. Yeah. Yeah, so the threads of Babylon is unraveling, right? Yeah, you have no time for yourself. You have no time for yourself, much less anyone. How can you be a good wife, a good mother, a good anything if you don't even have the time? You don't have the time. You have to meet the demands of what these people are telling you need to do. You know. Oh yes. So here it is. Brilliant. Very brilliant point. And this is one of the reasons why this 5G was so important, and implementing this 5G right while everybody was on lockdown, because all the labor unions, all of the people who could protest and say, oh, robots and all of that pushback that would take them 20 and 30 years to implement, to bring in, artificial intelligence and all the robots to do the basic things that the base used to do. They needed 5G in order to operate that kind of workforce. Okay, they needed the 5G in order to operate that kind of technology. So it's not by accident, it's by design. They need the design. They needed this to happen at this time. So these are some of the reasons why I look at it like, okay, you have a global pandemic, and it's just so convenient. So, people, especially Black people, who have always been at the bottom in some way, shape, or form, you have to come up with creative ways to get yourself out of that situation. You have to come up with creative ways that you can continue to make your money or make your livelihood independently and regardless of of them and their system. Right? Let's see. Wow. So PT says they have employees stuck in the airport right now because there aren't enough workers for the airlines. What? American Airlines canceled 1,800 flights this weekend. Are you serious? Yeah, so this force. So you know what this thing is? I mean, I talked about this the other day, but Noam Chomsky had written a book called Manufactured Consent. Okay. And manufacturing consent is really about the propaganda of the media, and how ideas are being manufactured and swayed to get you to consent to specific things. And the problem with the Western mindset or the European mindset is that they always overplay their hand. They always overplay and undermine the ability of the human mind to say no. Okay. And we have seen this throughout history. We see it in the French Revolution, in the Haitian Revolution. We see it in the anti-colonial movements. We see this human pushing back because they always undermined, or they always, the word is on the tip of my tongue, they always view the human as someone who is less intelligent than they are. So when you push people to say, okay, you have to take the job, they never expect the pushback of saying, no, I don't think I need to take something into my person and into my body. They don't anticipate that. They don't expect that. They don't expect the Border Patrol to be walking off. They don't expect the fire department. They don't expect the police department. They don't expect immigration. They don't expect the airline workers. They don't expect the shipping workers. They don't expect any of these people to say no. And no matter how many robots they have, they still need human beings to do certain things. They cannot replace us. We are God's creation. They will never be able to run any company simply with only robots. They're not going to be able to do that, right? So that's what they would like to do. They would like to undermine the human, and it will never happen. She said her job told her that she can't go to Africa unless she took the job. Wow. Let me see. Bitcoin is debasing. It keeps going up. Yeah, Bitcoin. I mean, I missed that bandwagon. One coin is $61,000. That's amazing. Yep. The metaverse. Oh, Seeded Fruit says China has a fleet of AI robotics medical staff ready to deploy at any time. Then we have the metaverse. Oh my gosh. So all of these things, is designed to put you into this place. Yes, underestimate, Erica. That's what what I wanted to say. They always underestimate us. They always underestimate human beings. Those in power and control, they only live in those spheres of their own circles, their own influence. They do not think logically. They think very irrationally. They think, what would they do? What they would like their good slaves to do. Oh, well, if I tell my slave that you have to get the job in order to keep your job, my slave should say yeah, because I mean, they have to pay their credit and their bills, right? And they have to take care of their family. So why would they choose not to take it? Okay, so we just roll it out and see and the slaves, they'll go along. They always underestimated the human mind. They always underestimate, undermine, and see human beings as less than intelligent. And I say see human beings because, trust me, the people who are coming up with this stuff, they're anything but. Ridiculousness, absolute ridiculous. You must get the vaccine in order to do this. And now it's this big, there's celebrity push. There's, it's the common, it's the norm. And I'm going to, for those who attended the meeting over the weekend, you got to see some of the information that I shared, that it is not the common, it is not the norm, and they know what they're doing, and there's a reason why they need you to consent to it. They cannot force you to take it. They can make your life harder, they can make your life difficult, but they can't force you to take it. And if you go back a few pages in their book earlier this year, or the argument around this vaccine, why it took so long, according to them, to roll out and get to the FDA, was because they needed certain legislation in regards to lawsuits, that people should not sue their their employers over getting a vaccine. Now, clutch my pearls, let me ask y'all something. When you took your children to go get that polio vaccine, did they have you sign something to say you won't sue the doctor for getting your child vaccinated? Why would it be such an issue that it has to go through Congress and be passed and signed into bill that you cannot sue over this vaccine? Why is that even attached to the stimulus plans and all of? Why is that attached there to get Americans back to work? Then it's experimental. It is experimental. If you are telling me that you have to put something in legislation before the vaccine even hits the market to say people who take it cannot sue their employers, they cannot sue the federal government, they can't sue the FDA, they can't sue Pfizer, they can't sue BioNTech, they can't sue anybody. Okay, you cannot sue anyone if taking this experimental vaccine gives you an adverse effect. You do not have any legal recourse, neither does your children. And the people who are dying weeks or months after getting this vaccine, their family have no legal recourse. Okay, so if this thing is definitely here to heal you and help you, and it is going to be the betterment for all of humanity, I would like to know, why is it that you have no recourse in the most litigious country on the planet? I mean, they can stop you from playing music on YouTube, right? If I'm doing a video right now and I have MC Hammer playing in the background, they can stop that. They can shut that down right now. Okay, MC Hammer has legal recourse to stop me from playing music in the background in my little video. Okay, but you don't have any legal recourse to insert something inside of your body. You should know that they are depending on your complete consent to say yes to receiving this, because they know that part is illegal. They know that, but they're depending on you not to know it, right? Oh, Inera. Let me see. Okay. Yep. Yeah, so Seeded Fruit says groupthink. So that groupthink idea, the groupthink where they want everyone to think the same thing. You watch the news, you can pause it and go to any channel and they're saying the exact same thing, right? And in today's news, there was a car accident, and the person who died, if they took the vaccine, they would not have died. Every sentence ends with, and take the vaccine, and the vaccine is now available, and the vaccine is what is going to cure all of your illnesses. What about diabetes? There are some people who are dying of diabetes, hypertension, all of this stuff. Where is that vaccine? Where is that stuff? Be careful. Be careful of how forced compliance, absolutely. Forced compliance, as Noam Chomsky said, manufactured consent. It is being manufactured for you. You are making decisions that you don't even know how or why you're making these decisions. And unfortunately, a lot of us are more receptive to what we're getting off of the screen rather than doing our own research and reading and going through legislation and using your critical thinking brain to get to the base and the root of the research. I had some water up here. Johanna, she better be sleeping. right? Forced compliance. Um, yeah, they don't know how children will respond until after it's administered. Okay. And for those of you who don't know how children respond, you also don't know how it will affect their fertility. You don't know how it will affect their ability to have children in the future. Okay. So I'm saying all of that to say this, that we already know that this is not a vaccine. We already know that this is experimental. We already know that they should not and could not put us in this position, but we are the ones who have to give them that consent. So whatever happens, they cannot force it upon you. Okay? But they're depending on you to consent to it. And you should know what you're consenting to and that you do not have to consent to anything. Okay? Children, right? Kalia said, bingo. Absolutely. You do not, they can only manufacture your consent. They can only make your life harder. And it is up to you to decide whether or not this is something that you want to participate in or not. And I'm not saying that over here in Africa, anything is different. I'm just saying that whatever, because they're trying to instill this one government, this one idea government, because if they can get you or get their people, can you imagine everybody on the planet has the same vaccine? Everyone on the planet has the same vaccine in their blood. Can you imagine if everybody had an adverse reaction at the same time? What kind of medical fallout that would be? Or can you imagine if there was anything in that vaccine other than some medicine and they wanted to program everyone at the same time? Can you imagine what that would be? There would be no revolution. There would be no pushback. There would be no, we're not going to take it anymore. You would all have to take it. So in the spirit of humanity, the voice of resistance has to be very loud and clear. Okay? Whether you're talking about your job or you're talking about your education or you're talking about whatever it is you're talking about, you have to let it be known loud and clear where you stand on this issue. Your voice of resistance should be known. Okay? Yep. Can you imagine? Kalea says, the medical and mental fallout. Can you imagine that? And you know what I notice is that there is a certain generation of people over the age of 50, over the age of 60, the people who know how things should be, could be, and how things used to be, and how to ask and speak for their rights. They don't want those people alive anymore. They want the Instagram people alive. They want the Instagram people who are just trying to live a happy life and don't do any reading or any research or don't know what the evening news used to look like when the news informed you and gave you proper information on how to make, critical decisions, when the news actually did the job of creating an informed population. They don't want the old people. They don't want the dinosaurs anymore. So you have, the old diehards that are dying out faster. And so we got to get this thing together. We have to get it together. We have to get it together quickly. And I see most of us repatriating. Mosquito. I see the repatriation as an opportunity to create something from nothing. You're coming to a new place. You are coming with new ideas, and you're coming with new opportunities, right? And so reach out to me so that we can work together on what it is that we're looking to do next, right? Kalia says, definitely. I'm going to write that down. That sums it up pretty much. Death in every direction. I shouldn't laugh, but just the way how those words are put together. Death in every direction. That's what they want. They want death. That is what they're creating, and people are so afraid of this death, and so afraid of the vaccine, and so afraid of this, and so afraid of that, and they want us to do it, and what's going to happen. And this thing is dividing families. Is dividing families. It is it's a new source of division. Okay, that people within families are disagreeing over getting this vaccine. One person won't get it. The other person is saying, well, if you don't get it, I'm going to get sick. Another person is saying, well, if you get it, I'm going to get sick. And so we are having this continuous cycle of disagreement, broken unity, all of this stuff coming out of this vaccine drama, right? And, what I said last night was whatever it is your position is, whether you should get it, whether you shouldn't get it, whether you can't get it or whatnot, you cannot afford to be isolated any further from your family. You have to find a way to get along, to have peace and harmony. Chum, the mosquito just come from nowhere. Yes, no problem, Erica. It was recorded. I'm going to do it again. All right. The division, yeah. Yeah, so this is ridiculous. Where people, not going to meetings or weddings or funerals over this vaccine. So I'm going to talk to you people, my people. You cannot afford any more divisions, okay? We already have so many divisions. She thinks she bougie. She thinks she all that. Who she thinks she is. Or, they're just not my kind of people or whatever, okay? This that we're doing to each other, that we've been doing for the past 400 years, and probably before then, we cannot afford any more of that. This has got to stop. The people who are tired of hearing about the COVID conspiracies, the people who are tired of hearing about, the vaccine, the people who are tired and getting into squabbles and scratches and creating division amongst ourselves because of differences in philosophies and differences in opinions. That is what they want, because the more divided you are from your base, from your family, from your friends, from the people who should shelter and protect you, then the more likely you are to fall victim in some other way, if not to the vaccine, to something else. Okay. And so now is not the time for any of that stuff. Any of that, and I don't talk to her anymore because she went and got the vaccine. We can't afford that. Okay. You can't afford not to talk to anyone anymore because they took the vaccine. And the people who took the vaccine, you can't afford not to interact or talk with other people anymore because they won't take the vaccine. Okay? We all need to stop this mess right now. It is not going anywhere. It is not productive. It is not healthy emotionally, psychologically. Half of y'all spent a whole entire year and some months on lockdown. And I think all the land of Australia is still under lockdown. You can't go from isolation to now division. And that seems to be exactly what they want of you. Because when you're isolated, human beings are social creatures. When you're isolated, you don't have your community. You don't have anyone to share a meal with. You don't have anyone to talk to. You don't have anyone to open your mind and give you a different perspective. You don't have anyone to share and show you love and any of that stuff, or for even you to show love. And so when they have you like that, your mental well-being suffers. And when your mental well-being is suffering, it takes down your immunity that much lower. So whatever cooties they have out there floating around is going to get you. Okay? So we need to stop this the continuous cycle of perpetuating their hate machine. Okay, so can you imagine? we can't afford it. We cannot afford it. We can't afford it anymore. Whether you're for the vaccine or against the vaccine, we all need to be on the same damn page and come together as one and unify towards a single objective, which is trying to be free folk, free Black folk, free white folk. I don't care what kind of folk, but you need to be free. And you cannot do that if you're at each other's throats, where this division is cracking the families far deeper than if one half of the family was Democratic and the other half was Republican. Okay? You had strange Thanksgiving dinners with different political parties to begin with. Can you imagine Thanksgiving dinner with COVID? With COVID on top of your political differences? So this is a political, socioeconomic, personal issue that people feel strongly so much against that they are willing to divide and separate from other family members because of their opinions or because of their choices. How does someone else's choice affects you if your vaccine is so strong? I don't know. But at the same time, you cannot afford to be divided from that person. Find something else to talk about. Find something else to love on them. They took the vaccine. Oh my God, they got nanobots. They talk to me and I'm going to get it too. And I'm going to die and blah, blah, blah. Quite possibly, probably, but at least you'll die happy with some company. I don't know about you, but I don't want to die by myself. Right? So, just get over it. Get over it. Just shoo all of that stuff to the side, right? And find a way to come to a place where you're at peace with your family, with your friends, with whatever. And if you're having some kind of wedding and you're saying, well, people need to have the vaccine before they can show up, you're not that important, honey. And you're only creating more division. You're only creating a might as well just have your wedding on Zoom and be done with it. But you can't force people or make yourself or make your love into the cherry, into the carrot. It's either you're going to get my love this way or you're not. So y'all need to adjust the way how you're looking at each other and thinking about each other and loving each other, because If their system falls apart, we're the ones who are going to have to pick it up. And you cannot pick it up with people who are divided, right? And the more they divide you, the less likely you are to create groups or create any kind of cohesive plan that you can have any kind of better life, but the life that they're presenting to you. Yeah. So, hey, Cass, how are you? Yes. Yeah, they be flagging. They flag me. They flag me. They take stuff. I'm like, take it. That's why this channel is not monetized. I do not want to be beholden to YouTube because I'm going to say it like I see it. I don't want to be beholden to them for their little, their little coins. I don't need to be beholden to YouTube to toe the line. If there's something to say, I'm going to say it. If there's something that needs to be addressed, I'm going to address it without having any fear of, well, what's that going to do to my little $200 a month off of YouTube? What's that? I can't afford that. That is not the reason why I'm here. Okay, so yeah, so we're just talking about treating each other better, right? Treating each other kinder. Resist the kind of information that is incendiary and inflammatory and divisive and manipulative and destructive and does not give you any kind of peace towards where you need to be or where you could be or where you should be. Resist that kind of energy in the media that you're receiving, whether it's on social media or in the news, or your friends just keep sending you all these links all the time about this kind of stuff and that kind of stuff. Sometimes just ask them, how are you? What did you do today? Did you go for a walk? What'd you have for lunch? Are you sleeping well? Are you eating well? Have a friendly conversation with your friends. Stop throwing stuff at them and stop bombarding them, because at this stage in the game, those who aren't taking the vaccine are never going to take the vaccine. And those who have taken the vaccine, oh well, you can't convert them anymore. Okay? You can't convert them anymore. They've been done took it, or they want to take it, or they're thinking about taking it. So there is no more thinking about. They either took it or they're not taking it. Okay, so all of these cyclical, fear mongering on both sides needs to stop. It needs to stop. Have direct conversation with your people. When somebody sends you something, oh, you need to take the vaccine because it has vitamin C and it will make your skin glow. Right? If that's what they're coming out at you with, say, how you doing? I did notice that you looked pretty nice the other day. Are you eating well? Or, have a different conversation with them. How are your children? When, I like that dish that you used to make for me all the time. Have a conversation. Start talking to people. Stop talking at people. Stop talking about people. Stop talking around people. Stop it. Just stop it. Stop it. Just stop it. Cut it out. That's enough. That's enough. Let's just have some kind of friendship. Okay? Regardless of this thing that they've created. Can you imagine? They created this. They created this whole entire atmosphere. They created this environment. It is completely manufactured. Check us in January of 2019. We're all just happily getting along and living our life and trying to figure it out what to do next. Summer 2019, who knew that would be our last? Who knew? Who knew that would have been our last taste of summer normally? We don't know none of that stuff, right? But this thing has come along. They have manufactured Where is that magazine? I'm not gonna find it. I'll have to go do some digging. I'm just hoping it's in here. Yeah, they've manufactured this disease, okay? And out of manufacturing this disease, they they've also manufactured the cure for the disease. And all of the things that has happened in between, that has polarized people, that has killed people, that has stressed people out, isolated people, all of those things that has happened in between from the time this pandemic hit up until now, that's all them. That's all them. It cannot be good in any way, shape, or form for your mental health or your mental well-being if you're at each other's throats. So that's what I wanted to say to y'all before you come into the next meeting. So the next meeting, I'm thinking I'm doing the meeting, if not every week, every other week, so that we can expand on the next steps in what we're looking to do. So I've already done the raffle drawing. I'm going to end it here. It's at 1 minute and 10 seconds. So those who were looking for their name can come back and watch it, right? Lady Visionary, they cannot pin us down to take it. And she said, you watch. That is impossible, right? Yep. Yep. Cass says, I am never taking it, right? They created across the entire planet. They created this environment and they are watching the fallout. It's one ginormous experiment. It is a social experiment. It is a social / medical experiment. Okay. It is one big experiment. So yeah, it's a serious thing, but no, lady, they cannot hold us. They can't hold us down and take that. And you need to come to the meeting so you find out why. Okay. But they need to force you in some way to consent to taking it. Okay. Yep. Kalea says, they created conducive to illness all the way around. Your physical health is tied to your mental health. Your mental well-being is dependent, or your physical well-being is dependent on your mental well-being. Your immunity depends on your mental well-being to be okay. At least once a day, spend 10 minutes and watch something funny, because the endorphins that you will get by releasing laughter is going to help to build up your immunity. Okay. Those of you who are married, there are other things that you can do, read between the lines, to help increase your endorphins. Sex does increase your endorphins. So if you release more endorphins, it helps to build your immunity stronger, right? I know the husbands like that, but yeah, they're trying to corner us, right? Thank you, Plum. All right. What? Cass, come to our next meeting. Let me put it here. It's Exodus Africa 1. Gmail.com. Okay, so email me if you'd like to come to the next meeting. The money they've made, yeah. Where do you think the money comes from? Do you think Pfizer is really genuinely giving out vaccines for free? No, it goes back into inflation. It goes back to a bill to the government. It is going back in sky high inflation. That's why gas is almost $4 a gallon in America. That's why your eggs and your milk and your butter and your cheese and everything is going up, because not just because of the stimulus payments, but also because of that these vaccines are not free. Someone has to get paid. Someone has to get paid. That money has to come from somewhere, and you are paying for this vaccine, whether you take it or not. And that's the part that should piss off people, but it's not. That is the part that you should be angry about. Don't be angry at your neighbor because your neighbor isn't smart enough to know not to take the vaccine. Be angry at these people who want you to pay for something that you'll never take. That's where people need to get up in arms and get their petitions and get their neighbors and rally and walk down to Washington and cuss them out over. Why stick me with the bill when I don't want you to stick me with the jab? No, that's what people should be upset about. And no one is upset about that. Everyone is just feeding on the same information. Oh my gosh, they want us to do this. Now they're doing that. They're cornering us. Oh my God, what are they going to do? You need to find in yourself that spirit of democracy, that spirit of fight back, and that spirit of revolutionary thinking to say, oh, hell no. That is the part you'll need to be fighting for, because if you're not going to pay for it, your children are. That is what you need to look into. Look deeper. Where and who is paying for that? It is going to the American debt. It is going against the GDP of the country. They want you to pay for it. And all these people around the world, oh my God, they brought in the vaccine. Oh my God, they want us to take it here in this country or that country. Oh my God. Y'all need to be fighting over not paying for it. That's what you need to be upset about. That's where you need the linchpin is develop arguments and develop strategies that you organize your group to say, well, we're not going to pay for that. That's what you need to talk about. Go and do some research on that. Go make YouTube videos about that. Find out the financial costs. People don't necessarily understand medical language, and they don't always understand legal language, but they understand money. Okay. And if people go to their community meetings, their community boards, or their education boards, to, board meetings to say they're not going to pay for these new things, or they want to pay for that, or they don't want to pay for that, that means that there is enough room in democracy to still think that people are going to be upset enough about things to resist paying for it. That's where y'all need to be fighting. Because if you're not going to pay for it, ain't no money going out. If you're not going to pay for it, you think the government is? No, right? Let me see. And pay for all those who are injured. Exactly. Yep. I tell God he will have to. This cast. This is the thing. Is who else? This is out of our wheelhouse. I am not a medical doctor. I'm none of these things. I have no degree in chemistry or biochemistry. I don't have that kind of power. So I give it to the ancestors. Y'all deal with that. That is not my forte. That is not my wheelhouse. Y'all have that one, and let me take care of the things I can take care of, which is I got to feed this kid. I got to make sure she's okay. I got to make sure she has all the things that she needs. And I have to live my life, and I have to try to remain healthy. And I try to do, I have my life to live. I cannot waste any energy on the things that I have no power or control over. I don't have that kind of power or control. So I give it to the spirit world. Y'all have that. Hail Mary, Our Father, all these folk out there in the spirit world, here's some work for you to do. That's who you have to put it to. Just give it out there. You're not God, you're not Jesus. And so you have to develop that faith that whatever it is that you have faith in is going to provide and protect you and your family. You have to know that. You can't believe it. You have to know it. Because the more you know it, the less you're going to be agitated and upset and fearful and filled with anxiety about what's going to happen next. Ain't nobody got no time for that. No, I ain't got no time for it. Okay. Yes. Let me see. Yeah, and pay for all of those injured as well. Okay, so the raffle is still up. The drawing is going to be the 10th of December for our winter. This is fall that we just closed tonight. You have my email address to communicate with me. Let's see. This is my Cash App for anybody who would like to make any donations towards that. That's $ Renee Moneymaker from my Cash App. And email me if you have any questions. I want to cut this short so that people who won earlier can come back to it and look at it. This is the website for the Xodus house. And there. Okay. And so if you have any questions at all before I go off here, put it in. I'm going to give you like 2 minutes to let me know if you have any questions that you have for me that you would like me to tackle, or give you some information on repatriating or coming to Africa, or something that you need to know. I'll be happy to answer that for you. So, yes. Okay. No. Yeah, absolutely. So no questions? All right, y'all. I'm going to go. Thank you so much for watching. Send me an email, make a donation via Cash App using $ Renee Moneymaker, or PayPal. Email me for that as well. I'm going to go. I hope the information that I shared tonight was valuable. If you'd like to come to the next meeting, sorry. If you'd like to come to the next meeting, email me exodusafrica1@gmail.com. That is XODUS, Africa, the numeral 1 @gmail.com. Okay, y'all. Thank you so much for watching. Bye-bye.